maybe. Wow, did Steven call it or what? Like, seriously, how did Steven know that this is going to be an all Venom epic stream? Just kidding. I had these out because I'm shooting my Venomnibus video, the Agent Venomnibus. How is everybody doing this fine morning? Happy 4th of July. If you are off from work and you live in America, everybody else, you still have a 4th of July. I think you still have to work. But Curtis, how are you?
I'm doing okay. I will be putting a few hours of work in after this, even though...
Wait, your job is based in America.
I know, but, you know, it's not a holiday for me.
It's not a holiday for you. That's
so,
right.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing because they don't work. They do work on Canada Day, but I don't. And then they don't work on the 4th of July, but I do. So I kind of try to put in like a half day on each one of those. So it kind of evens out.
So what about, hey, how are you doing for the love of comics? I need to get together with that guy. I love that dude. Hi, everybody. Dana. How do they handle things like Thanksgiving then? Because you guys in Canada have your own Thanksgiving. Yes, we are having a history lesson today before we get started with the epic announcements.
I'll just usually tell them, hey, I'm not working this day because it's a Canadian holiday.
Martian knows, ready to start counting Curtis's errors. No. I wonder how many fingers will be lost today. It is an American tradition. That's right. That is right. And this is Curtis's Epic Marvel Podcast Discord. And bonjour, everybody. Oh, Joe, how are you doing, buddy? Wow, Phil and Joe. I know they both live in England, right? And wow, it's got to be late there. Okay, so what are we talking about today, Curtis? I never like doing these things alone. What are we doing today?
We've got some Epic Collection announcements today. The last time we did this a few months back, we ended with January 2026. So we're picking up where that left off, and we're going to talk about what's coming out February to April of 2026. These are exclusive announcements straight from Marvel, and there you go.
Excellent.
That's what we're going to talk about. I think it's 13 books.
I'm so sorry, Phil. 4, 6. Can you tell me the difference between Arizona and Colorado, Phil? I think not. I didn't know he was Welsh. Did you know he was Welsh? I feel like I don't think you knew that.
Yes, I did know that. And
for once, I started at a reasonable time. I actually I'm thinking about going to Thought Bubble and taking Melanie with. I'm trying to talk her into going with me because I need help.
What is that?
I did reach out to them. It's in London or in England somewhere. Hey, Bart, how are you? Just tell us what's not coming out. That's fast. We're not getting an Nth Man Epic Collection. I can tell you that much. So if you're
Spectacular Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Yes, more mountains in Colorado. Nice springs there too. Wow. Well, look at Phil is a very world traveling dude. First time being able to catch a live stream. Very excited to be. Well, happy to have you here, Toy Collecting. Thought Bubble rules. Definitely come. Okay. Oh, it's in Leeds. Okay. I'll have to Google what that is. Come on, X-Men 18. I love Thought Bubble. You all would love it. Dude, Eric, are you going to go? Apparently it's Leeds. It's in Leeds. I was mistaken. So I'm thinking about going. Yeah. Just to get out of the country and for something new, because I've covered a lot of conventions in America. So as much fun as I have doing them. Yeah. It's too big. Dude, if you're going, I'm definitely in. I can get my wife to go too. It's in, oh, so it's not in Leeds. Okay, I'll let you all decide where it is, and you all let me know, and I'll be happy to go. It's a convention in England somewhere, the UK. I'm just going to go place it. Omar, thoughts on Marvel doing 3 big trades of Souls Daredevil? Wonder if that means no Omni reprint. No, absolutely not. Look, they've done 3 big modern epic collections of Agent Venom, and we're getting an Agent, and we have an Agent Venom omnibus coming. So there is really, no, they know there's different collectors, just like DC is learning the same thing too. After talking to them, they realized that, yeah, it's wonderful. It's great. It's a great time to be a reader of both, you know, the epic collections, the big hardcovers, and still rooting for the masterworks. And it's bound to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. Although I think it'll be a long time before Daredevil by Soul comes to Masterworks.
Well, yes. Yes. And I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Phil. I did not mean to trigger you. Any updates on more reprints? Reprints of epics? They will be announced here today. It's not the entire list. They'll try to get out a couple more reprints. And once I have that, I will let you all know. All right. Curtis, my friend, are you ready to do this?
Well, I'm always ready. Yep.
All right.
Ready to go.
I'm going to let you share your screen. Let's go ahead and add that. And everybody, please smash that like button. Show us some love. We don't stop working here on Near Make Edition just because it's the 4th of July. I have to go and cook for some friends later today, and I'm still doing this. And I got to shoot a reprint. All right. Let's go ahead and start this off. Curtis, with February of 2026. That's right. Woo!
We're going to start off. We're going to start off with just the reprint for this month here. We are talking about X-Men Epic Collection Volume 2, Lonely Are the Hunted, one of the most requested reprints at this time. It's going to come in February. And I know that there was one person in the Epic Collection group who just bought this for maybe more than they should have. And I was like, oh man, I wish they had just waited a couple more weeks.
But look, here's the thing that I tell everybody. Like, no matter what, though, like, it's your money at the end of the day. If you don't want to wait, that's up to you. This was voted number 4 in our reprint poll this year. And it showed up last year at number 21. So congratulations. I'm sorry, what volume is this?
2.
Number 2. Okay, I'm sorry. This was voted number 10 this year and number 21 last year.
Yeah. Yeah. This one, for some reason, just recently, within the last month or two, a lot of people were asking for this one. So, and there's always, even though it isn't maybe the best or most loved X-Men content, the Silver Age stuff is always stuff that people's looking for.
So keep voting. That's the important thing to get out of this.
Okay, let's move on to some modern era epic collections here. What is this, Omar?
This is the Young Avengers Modern Era Epic Collection, Volume 3, The Children's Crusade. This is the return of Alan Heinberg with Jim Chung to tell the story that they were building up in the original Young Avengers. However, this took some years to make because Young Avengers took place immediately after New Avengers started, like right after the Avengers disassembled. So this is the story they were building up to, but because Alan Heinberg's a TV writer, and they just took a break. And there were other series where you can find the Young Avengers, and that can be found in Volume 2. But this is really like their vision of how everything was to come. So, have you read any of this stuff?
I have not, but boy, I sure love that first volume. So
you're gonna like forward to this. You're gonna love this one too because it's the same creative team, and it does something that I don't want to spoil what it will undo something that some of us did not like, but you can find out for yourself what that is by reading it. I don't want to spoil it, especially if you haven't read it already. And thank you so much for the super chat, the Artunism. Young Avengers has unfortunate mapping due to it mostly being team-ups and 10 and 15 issue runs, but this is peak Young Avengers. Agreed. The other miniseries, unfortunately, was like Runaways Young Avengers through Secret Invasion, through Dark Reign. This is really from the big ending that they have. And some of those are big, oversized too.
Yeah, but this is still going to be a pretty thin Epic collection.
10. Oh, yeah, you're right. 10-ish, 10 of the main issues.
Only
And
10
then,
issues. Yeah, it's going to be like a under 400, maybe. Yeah, I can't remember. But yeah, it's going to be one of the thinner ones. Hopefully that means it comes with a thinner price point as well. Yeah.
really quick, the Mighty Dude. I wish the Golden Age got more love, yet I understand why it doesn't, unfortunately. If you're a fan of Golden Age and Silver Age Marvel non-superhero stuff, the Fantagraphics has been doing these wonderful collections lately of like the Atlas era, like horror or the Lost Marvels. I don't know if that's the route Marvel's going to take, or if one day they'll bring back the Golden Age stuff, but at least it gives you an option to check out another publisher. Don't expect the same restorations like they do in the Marvel Masterworks, though. I really do think that the restorations that they've done for the Masterworks are just, to a lot of people, that is the cream of the crop. That is as high as restoration as you can get. Okay, so that is your first new Epic collection. It is a modern era Epic collection. Take it away, Curtis.
Okay. Next up, we have Daredevil Modern Era Epic Collection, Volume 5, the Murdoch Papers.
Filling in that gap.
Yeah, they did numbers 2, 3, and 4, and then skipped right over number 5 to go right to number 6. And I don't know exactly why they decided to do that, but now we're looping back, which means that volume 6 that just came out, I'm just going to not read it until this one comes out in February, and then I'll be able to read both of them back to back.
It's interesting how, not interesting though. Like, it's kind of become expected of Marvel to jump around between different eras, right? But it is a unique choice to go and jump right to the Brubaker stuff, right? Leaving out the ending of Bendis, which sets up the Brubaker run. So to some people, it's like, oh, now I have to wait. So new collectors now are finally understanding why some of us have been waiting years for some of these Epic collections, like Amazing Spider-Man 16. But I'm glad that this is a big chunk of Daredevil. It's all of Bendis is now done in modern era Epic collection with this one, right, Curtis?
That's right. Yeah, the whole thing from volumes 2 to 5 is the whole run. And that's great because it is one of the most influential runs in this era.
And I joke around on the channel a lot how Omnis are superior to Epics, but the Epics are mapped better because they are not creator-centric based, so they don't have any missing issues, unlike the Omni. Like, if the Omni Volume 1 and 2 by Bendis skip all of the Bob Gale stuff. They even skip the introduction of Echo, too, the David Mack stuff, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that stuff is collected in the modern Epic, though.
Right. Yeah.
This is why no Frank Miller Daredevil Epics Volumes 9 through 11, because they know you want them. That's why. So, and I'm kind of not joking. Like, they know what people want. They know that people want John Byrne FF. They know they want Thor by Walter Simonson, Roger Stern's Spider-Man, and then, of course, Frank Miller's Daredevil. They know that's what they want. From Frank Miller's Daredevil, I am assuming they're going to use the original colors like they did from the Masterworks, not the recolors from the Omnis.
Right. Yeah, I assume so as well. Yeah, they're saving the best for last. I think if they had done all of the like those big runs right at the beginning and left all of the lesser desirable volumes for later, then the interest would wane, I think.
Yeah, I think they figured out how to do that. And it looks like, DC is doing the same thing with DC Finest, jumping from Golden Age to Bronze Age to some modern. Well, they don't really have, I don't even know what's considered modern, but yeah. Why give the public what they want? That would be silly. No, they are.
Next one? No?
They are.
Yeah.
They're just taking their sweet time.
Well, exactly. It's not like they're not going to do them. The fact that they've numbered all these volumes is a promise that they're going to get them out. Fingers crossed, I guess, as long as sales stay up.
At least it's not a connecting spine like what are the books in the UK? I love them. I'm so jealous of them. But they're like not Hachette, but It's like they make a image, the connecting spines, and they send you volumes from different eras, so you don't like you're building the spine over the years. That would be cruel, especially if you're concerned about the look of the books on the Eagle Moss. Thank you. That's it.
That's right. Yeah.
All right, man. Let's take it away. Ron, how are you
Great.
doing, buddy? And Logan, look, yeah, you all know I'm jealous of them, but at the same time, I'm grateful we don't have a subscription service like that here. I think they started to do it with Batman. All right, what's the next one? Micronauts.
Here we go. Yeah. This is Volume 4. Yeah, the original Marvel Years Volume 4, The Long and Winding Road, collecting Micronauts 51 to 59. So they are getting these out at a very steady pace, just so that they can stay within their licensing window, I assume. But this takes us up to the very end of the original Micronauts series.
Yes, before it's relaunched. Now wait until they blow everybody's mind by making the next volume have X-Men Micronauts, and all us Omni collectors are going to be like, what? Yes, this is before the relaunch, right?
So hold on a second. It says, 51 to 59. Is that a mistake? Let's double check that number on the spreadsheet Marvel gave us.
Yeah, let me go check.
It does say 51 to 59, but you're right. That does seem small. The other one left off at 50. Are these double-size issues because they went to the direct market?
They didn't have any ads, but I'm double checking right now. Micronauts. Yeah, that's what I have.
Yeah, this is going to be a fairly small epic collection as well, it looks like. That might be Yeah, it'll be like 350 pages. So Phil confirmed that they are oversized issues, but it's still going to be a small epic collection.
Okay.
I think it's because they want to get all of the new voyages into one volume in the next one.
Got it. Thank you all for double checking.
And Phil says this is the one that should have had X-Men versus Micronauts in it.
One day. We'll get that in the gallery edition one day.
Yeah.
I remember that is when they went to the direct market. I know they didn't have the ads. So
yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Okay. Here is, I think, the last one for February. It's one that a lot of people are going to be very, very happy about. Check this out. Fantastic Four Volume 13, Back to Basics, collecting Fantastic Four 232 to 248, plus Fantastic Four Roast, which is a Fred Hembeck issue, and material from What If number 36. This is the very, very beginning of John Byrne's classic era on Fantastic Four.
So that's what I was talking about when I said they know what people want, and they've been taking their time. 12 years, right? Since or 11 years. We have 11 years for epics.
We're at like 13 years now.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
It's taking that long to get into the Fantastic Four. But if you've been collecting for a year, it's only taken a year to get here. You just got to wait for reprints. Always a downside. But
right.
Yes, it is coming out finally.
What do you think of that cover? Is there a better cover they could have used? All the characters except for Galactus are pretty small on that one.
Is there a better cover? Oh, Curtis, you don't want to play that game with me because I always think there's a better cover, but that got my ass in trouble with Marvel for suggesting things years back with Thor.
Right.
So I don't play that game anymore.
No, this one's good because it has
argue about content than covers, but no, I'm okay with that cover. I mean,
this one has a whole bunch of other heroes. They definitely do prefer the covers that feature other characters, and this one with Doctor Strange and the Avengers on it is definitely one that they would pick.
I don't see Sue on the cover though.
Oh, she's there. She's just invisible.
Nice. There we go. I hope this is right. I hope people enjoy Galactus in the movie. Okay, let's move on.
Okay, so that wraps us up for February. So now we are moving on to March. And the first one we have is Ultimate Spider-Man Epic Collection Volume 2, Hunted. This one has Ultimate Spider-Man 14 to 27. So that's collecting the next two story arcs of this series. I think one of them is starring, actually, I think it's a couple of short story arcs. One has Dr. Octopus, one has Craven, which is why this one's called Hunted. And then I think the return of Green Goblin, perhaps. I can't remember. Yeah, Green Goblin, because he comes back
the
for the
Green Goblin
25th
does come
issue.
back in this one. And I'm surprised they haven't haven't been pumping these out. I really thought they would have been cranking these out too. Just wondering, are there any future omnibus release dates announced or expected soon? I have announced some just recently. I'm waiting for Marvel Legal to approve 11 videos. So they're all done. And they're just waiting for approval. It's now up to them, and then I'll start to release them. So at least there's that. So what you're saying is it's going to take 20 years to finish Ultimate Spider-Man at the current rate. If they're releasing one a year, 100, 150, what do you think, Curtis? That's what I'm thinking. Oh, well, no. Wait. Now, we're assuming that they're not wrapping up some lines, right? Like they're not going to be wrapping up some classic lines to start focusing on other lines. I don't know.
It would probably be at least 10 years, though, because if they do one volume a year, there's going to be over 10 volumes of this stuff. So, yeah, I mean, it would be great if they did like 2 a year or something, but we'll see if they're selling well, they might bump it up.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
11 videos, so like 60 nominees. No, I think it's like, I put it on Patreon. I like teasing people on Patreon with how many slots we have. I think it's 30, 36, 37, including the ones I just announced. And that doesn't include some of the reprints they might do. They might add. All right, Curtis, that was March for Ultimate Spider-Man 2. What else we got?
Thunderbolts Epic Collection Volume 4 Redemption, collecting Thunderbolts 42 to 52 plus Avengers 31 to 34 and Thunderbolts Life Sentences one shot from 2001. Now this is again more of the period where Hawkeye is leading the team, gets us past the 50th issue. This stuff, I believe, it has never before been collected in any sort of collection, right? Have there been omnis of this stuff?
There's been omnis, yeah. Before you go to the next one, I need to say something, Curtis. Before you go to the next book. Yes, this has been collected in omnibus before. It's been collected in, some of it was collected in the Hawkeye and the Thunderbolts trade paperbacks. So yeah, all of this has been collected before, though, and I'm glad that you are getting it in epic format, because this is some of the great stuff by Fabian Nicieza. And yes, I think for the majority of this book right here, it's Bagley drawing it. Yeah, it was Hawkeye and the Thunderbolts trade paperbacks. I think there were 2 of those, right?
Oh, there might have been. I never got those ones. I didn't really realize that they had collected all the way up through issue 50. I thought very little of this series had been collected.
No, there was a lot collected, and then they kind of dropped it. The Fight Bolts, the Forgotten series. That's okay. We may see that one day, Cody. We may see that one day. Is this on a hardcover? Yes, it is in Omnibus Volume 2, if I'm not mistaken, of Thunderbolts, if you have that one. All right. Very quick, before we go to the next book. How come Punisher was ended after 5 epics? I don't know. When was the last time the Punisher epic? This is a question we get every freaking time. When was the last time we had a Punisher epic collection, Curtis?
It was in 2021. That was the last time. So
holy crap! It's been 4 years.
4 years.
Even if we announce one now, it'll be 5 years before the next Punisher epic.
That's right. Yeah, it's been a long time.
That's nuts, man.
And why, there's various different reasons or theories as to why they've put a stop to this kind of stuff. But I mean, um, Punisher showing up in Daredevil Born Again was a big deal.
And he's rumored to be in the new Spider-Man movie when that comes out. So maybe that will give
That's
them the push that they need, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the next book, Curtis?
Okay, let's see here.
Oh, Punisher Epic Collection Volume 8! Boy, that was a...
Look at that.
Look at the setup for that.
We were just talking about that guy.
Oh, hell yes. Punisher Epic Collection Volume 8, collecting Punisher 76 to 84, Punisher Annual 5 through 6, Punisher Spider-Man Sabretooth designer jeans. I always crack up saying that stupid name. And then Punisher, a man named Frank one shot. So there you go for all the... I swear to God, you all better buy this the hell up. Just saying. Yeah, dude, this is one of my favorite streams that I've done in a while because I know Frank has been missing from the announcements for epics and even in Omni format too, with the exception of reprints. So it's nice to see them not forget a character like this. It hasn't beaten the record of the longest forgotten line. I think that still belongs to either Nick Fury or Ant-Man, right? About 10 years in between volumes.
I can't remember. Yeah, one of those two. Moon Knight had a pretty big gap too. So this is volume 8. People were asking for volume 1.
I mean, we do need that, but it's nice to see them continue something.
And volume 6 is the notorious volume where Punisher goes undercover as a black man. So that one, I don't know if they're, they've left a spot for it. They've mapped it out with that stuff in mind. So we'll see what happens.
Why does everybody remember it just as that? There were some good stories there too. And actually, that's not a bad story. But this is, I want to say this actually has stuff after Chuck Dixon left the book. And was it Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning that took over the book? Like, I want to say
in the previous volume, they were in volume 7, and I don't know that they carried over past that.
Oh, they would have been in volume 7. This is definitely Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning because they stuck with the book for a while. They stuck with the book when it started getting really silly.
Did they do the Suicide Run story?
I think they were part of it because Suicide Run was the big... It was like their crossover between all the Punisher books.
All the... Yeah.
And at that time, there was like 4 Punisher books.
That's going to be volume 9, will be Suicide Run.
Yeah.
Probably the whole
Survival... Story. I don't think it was... who was it? Was it Stephen Grant? It was somebody else that did Survival. I don't think it was Andy... And dang it, I cannot remember. I remember Baus Mayrick doing the artwork, but I don't remember who the writer was. Regardless, it's nice to see more Punisher collected.
Yep. Great to see him back. That's for sure.
There was another, before we go to the next book, there's something else too that I wanted to point out. Oh, anyway, I think it's, a lot of people are saying, why doesn't Marvel start doing, the stuff that we want? So you saw John Byrne, Fantastic Four, and it's coming on almost 13 years that we're doing this Epic Collections. So we need to start hitting some classics. Like I know we got Frank Miller that's coming out in Daredevil. Frank Miller is coming in Epic Collection finally. And you saw Fantastic Four by John Byrne. What's the next book, Curtis? Thor.
That would be Thor, Epic Collection Volume 13, The Surtur War. This is the beginning of Walter Simonson's classic run on the Mighty Thor. Numbers 337 to 356.
Oh, hell yes. Hell yes. I'm so happy. And original colors, right? Not the Omni colors, which a lot of us didn't have issues with, but love cheeky.
I mean, we don't technically have confirmation on the colors yet.
I don't think I don't think they would use the new colors. Yeah, this is great. This is a great addition. I know people have been wanting this for such a long time. But you've read this before, right? It's been collected many different times, like in Visionary.
Yeah. This is a run I've read before, and it's great. And a lot of people have been waiting so long for this. So yeah, here we are. And that only leaves us with a uh 2-volume
Two more,
gap for
sorry.
Thor. So this
Yeah.
is 13, and we already have 16 through 25. So now we just have 2 volumes to close that gap. And that is that's just amazing.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. Somebody was asking about. Oh, no, we announced the Miller Daredevil last. Was it the last batch or the previous batch of books?
I think the last batch to Daredevil is
Yeah, because
what
it
the
comes out
volume is
this
called.
year. Yeah, it's got Elektra on the cover, so it does come out this year. Hey Omar, when do you think all the announcement videos will be released? They will be done daily, because I have to do it by the 30th. As soon as I get their approval, because I signed an NDA, so I can't say anything. Epics are a little bit different because I don't have, we're given the list. But announcing Omnis has always been that route. It's like I have to get people's approval from Marvel. So they have them all. It's just a matter of them checking it. So hopefully soon. I hope here in the next week or so, because I need to get them out. I know people are really, really excited. I was excited because there are some Omnis in there that I was like, holy crap. Okay, awesome. Okay. Let's find out what the next book is, Curtis.
Okay, so we are now 2/3 of the way through our announcements. We're now into April 2026. We'll start with here we go. Amazing Spider-Man Modern Era Epic Collection Volume 3, and I can't believe they called it this. Sins Past.
Doubling down, man. Doubling down.
They
Yeah.
fully know that this is one of the more notorious stories in Spider-Man history, yet they put it as the volume title.
Yeah, very interesting choice. I assume the other the other infamous title will be One More Day whenever that epic collection comes out.
I think
But
so.
then
Yeah,
again,
for
I
sure.
mean, haven't they called isn't there an epic that's called the Clone Saga?
Yes, there is.
But
Yep.
it's the older Clone Saga, not to be
It's
confused with the new Clone Saga, right?
I thought there was a new. Let me just
Nope,
double check.
never mind. It is a newer one. Yeah, man. Yeah, maybe they know that the stuff, regardless of what people think,
Yeah.
sells.
Volume 27 is called the Clone Saga.
Yeah.
The other one is called Spider-Man or Spider-Clone.
This is past second worst thing since putting Avengers 200 on an epic cover.
Yeah, they're just trolling everybody.
Dude, Sins Remembered was so bad too. Oh my gosh. But I guess wait until that modern era epic collection of Nick Spencer's yeah, this is collecting all the way to 503 to 518, Amazing Spider-Man 518. So you're gonna have a lot of artwork in here by Mike Deodato Jr. Oh,
What's interesting is,
dude, have you read this run?
oh yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. This is, in fact, that is the story that I stopped collecting Spider-Man after that story.
Which Since Past or One More Day?
Since Past.
Yeah, I know
That's
people
when I stopped.
really get pissed at about One More Day. I hate Since Past even more. And I know, okay, I don't want to spoil what happens later, but it's still like, what? And even the original, you remember oh shoot, I can't spoil why. Never mind. Some people haven't read this. Forget everything I just said. Enjoy it.
What's interesting though is that the Spider-Man Volume 2 was only coming out a few months before this in January. So they were getting those 2 volumes out back to back pretty much. Like really fast turnaround.
Is Amazing Spider-Man on hardcover or only paperback? All of the books right now, all these epic collections are trade paperback. But these stories have been collected in Omni format and in hardcover format too, like oversized hardcover format. And a small reminder to smash that like button as we talk about Since Past. Maybe I should have picked a better book. Hey, I should have reminded people when we were talking about the Punisher, Thor. Curtis, you failed me. Strike one.
Don't no thumbs down because of this. We're just the messengers.
Thank you, Curtis. How long did it take you to go back to reading Spider-Man because of this?
Well, I mean, I I read it here and there, like on Marvel Unlimited and such. I just never was never I was never a monthly collector of Spider-Man after this until the epics came along.
Gotcha. No mentions that the original colors of Simonson's store just started coming out in the Masterworks and should still be available in that format. Somebody pointed out that the cover was using the new Masterworks restored original colors.
There you go. Yeah, there's no reason. Like they always put the best restoration in these epic collections if they have it.
Yeah.
So
I haven't seen any with modern colors of the epic collection. No, that's a me you like since past. Wow, Spider Island did it for you. That's awesome. See, I like growing up in the 80s and 90s, it was the Clone Saga that did it for a lot of people.
yeah.
And then One More Day, and I think I don't know, modern every run of Spider-Man you always hear is the worst run of Spider-Man, right? Ever since I was a kid. Like I remember the old timers hated David Michelinie's run. They were like, this is awful. The stupid a costume came, like they were so mad about the costume coming to life and becoming Venom. And like, who comes up with this garbage? Now I see people complain about, Nick Spencer's run, Zeb Wells, Dan Slott. It's just funny. Everything just is one cycle repeating.
All the costumes on Mary Jane, ridiculous.
Okay, where would you map Trouble? I would put it with Marvel and call it a day.
They should have put it in this volume here with Sins Past.
All right. There's my dude. See, Phil knows. McFarlane and Larson Spider-Man is the line I couldn't cross. I knew Phil was that dude. I could tell. Okay. Oh yeah, people hated Howard Mackie and John Burns.
Oh yeah,
the way they brought back
that was the next chapter.
I remember people were mad about the way they brought back a character.
Those will come to Epic Collection pretty soon, I'm sure.
Dude, if they put this is genius, Ryan. If they put Trouble as the cover of Amazing Spider-Man Epic Collection 16, people would lose their minds. Axel, how are you, buddy? All right, let's move on to the next book, buddy.
Okay.
Yes, that's what people are asking for. I'm so glad to see this, man. Black Widow Modern Era Epic Collection, Volume 2, Widowmaker. You've got Deadly Origin in here, the Black Widow 2010 series, Widowmaker 1 through 4, Fear Itself, Black Widow Saga, and the material from Enter the Heroic Age and Iron Man Kiss and Kill. I love it, man. We just got two volumes of Black Widow, right? We got volumes 1 and 3 that we have for the modern?
1 and 3, that's right.
So this is the gap filler. This is awesome. I love this.
And it's interesting because Black Widow, she has never been popular enough to sustain her own series regularly. So Volume 1 has a scattershot of little mini series that were between 1999 and 2006. Mm-hmm. And this collection is from 2010. Basically, it's all 2010 stuff. And then the next volume after this 2014. So there's big gaps in between where she isn't really doing anything, but this is still kind of all complete. So what does this have? This has Black Widow Deadly Origin 1 to 4, Black Widow's 2010 series 1 to 8.
Cornell series. It's I really like that Deadly Origin series.
Deadly Origin, that's the one with like Winter Soldier and stuff, right?
Yeah, that's when they started adding the character of Winter Soldier, because they kind of started shipping them. Is that what it's called? Never mind. I'm not even going to use that term. But yeah, and then 2010 gave us a lot. Like the popularity of Black Widow started going up again during this era.
Is this a reskin of a previous thick trade? I think someone said that this is
maybe
that there was a previous one called Widowmaker that had all of the same content.
Yes, I actually have that in between so it is. So if you have Widowmaker and you're a fan of having all of your Epic collections matching, get rid of it now, or do whatever you want to with it. But yeah, this has been previously released as the Widowmaker. I think that one was still in stock. It's got that Adi Granov cover on it.
Yeah.
What's solid. I'm glad that they're doing this. I think I even said that in my video when I was reviewing Volume 3. I'm like, they're just going to use Widowmaker as Volume 2.
Yeah, probably. And why not? I mean, it's all the stuff there. It's all
the work's already been done, right?
I always find it funny when artists try to do the foreshortening on legs as they're like as the character is flying toward the camera,
Mhm.
and then it just looks like they're cut off at the knees, and that's what it looks like in
Don't
this
do not
cover
let
here.
Peter hear you say anything about Greg Land. What is wrong with you? I don't know about Secret Wars. I think they've already reprinted it once. Yeah. And yeah, I heard about Michael Madsen yesterday. My wife and I were talking about our favorite roles with him. He's a great actor. Okay, Curtis, what do we got next?
Okay, next, Ultimate X-Men Epic Collection Volume 2 World Tour, collecting issues 13 to 25. So the next two story arcs in this one, again following the same pattern as the previous collected editions.
Yeah, so this will have the remaining of the Mark Miller stuff before Bendis takes over. That's what this will
Right.
have.
Yeah. And this is a cover by Mark Brooks, and I don't know where this cover comes from because it's not unless it was made specifically for the trade. I can't remember,
I think
but I
they
don't
did trade
recall it.
covers. Yeah, that's where it comes
Yeah.
from.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that
this was a good. This was, I remember issue 13 is the introduction to Gambit in this universe, and that was a good issue.
Was it? Yeah, but you're a bigger fan of this era than I am, so I will just not say anything. The Wolfpack Epic Collection. Yes, one shot listed on the back of the older printing. Thank you for that, Partworks. It is the exact same printing, and this was previously collected as Ultimate Collections Volume 2.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, Ultimate Collection.
Yeah, to each their own, Bailey, is all I will say about this stuff. I can give you my seal of approval on those issues of Black Widow and the last book we're going to be talking about, and the next book is solid too. I like this stuff, and I'm glad that you all are getting it in epic format quick.
Well, should we go on to the next one?
This has the issue where Beast gets catfished by the Blob. That's right. Beast has an internet girlfriend. And it's the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Blob talking to him. Yeah, let's do the next one.
Okay, what is this one, Omar?
ROM, the original Marvel Years Epic Collection Volume 4. Collecting ROM 48 through 60, as well as ROM Annual number 3, which is, I think, where that cover comes from. And oh yeah, it says ROM Annual. I thought it was the actual trade dress they gave us. Incredible Hulk 296. So that's what this will be collecting. And now it's a good time to remind people to smash that like button. There we go. Haven't read this before, right, Curtis? This is your first time reading it through the Epic collections. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah, the Epic was the first time I'd ever read ROM, so I'm excited about this. This one has Incredible Hulk 296, which won't be included in the Incredible Hulk line just because of this licensed character. But that's the Epic collection
if you're a Hulk completist, you got to get this Epic collection.
That's right. They do a volume break right at this issue. So volume 13 starts with 297. So volume 2 will end with 295. So if they you won't necessarily notice the skip in numbers if you're buying all the volumes, but it's unless you're paying close attention, but it's there.
So happy for you all there. I think they learned their lessons from Conan and Deadly Hands of Kung Fu to sit on something for a while, so that so many of you are now able to get this stuff in Epic format.
That's right.
Yeah,
I mean, this is 4 volumes. 4 volumes in 2 years is pretty remarkable.
And on top of that, go ahead, Curtis.
Will there be a couple? There will be maybe 2 more volumes after this, I think.
It goes all the way to 75. I think they just need 1 more volume, right?
Oh, maybe just 1 more. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, 1 more.
Amazing.
Somebody's asking, did they do a volume 3?
Yes, volume 3 was announced for December of 2025.
So this year, folks should get this or Omnis before they get MOKF. This is so true. Ironically, Hulk Crossroads was the last Hulk epic I picked. So here you go. Yeah. And ROM 3 is December. Thank you for that. I keep hoping they'll get the MOKF license. And Master Kung Fu, I just remember when I was part of the Masterworks forum that it was a one-time print run and that's it. And then it surprised me that they started doing epics, and unfortunately they only got so far. Yeah, look at that. 61 through 75 and annual number 4 are all that's left. All right. We have one more book to talk about today. But after that, we need to say something else too. Something that will make you all happy. What's the next book, Curtis?
Well, the last one we're going to talk about is this one, Avengers Epic Collection, Volume 14, Absolute Vision. Again, collecting material from the 80s. This is 1984/1985. Avengers 238 to 254 plus annual number 13.
This is the Uncle Raj era of Avengers. And if you notice something right there, it says 238 to 254. And that's very important because they made a big deal about issue 239 appearing in the Masterworks, and that's the Late Night with David Letterman issue. So I'm hoping that whatever deal they worked out will stay true to the Epic collections too. And it also had, this has got some good stories. The Jessica Drew story, like wrapping up her storyline from her canceled series.
Right.
Yeah.
And just the conclusion to all this Vision stuff that's been going on for a little while. And this is an interesting team with Captain Marvel, the
Monica Rambeau.
Photon. Yeah, Monica Rambeau, Captain Marvel, and Star Fox on in there. So yeah, it's this is great. This leaves us with a 1-volume gap. We only need volume 15 now, and then we'll have all of Avengers all the way up to Onslaught.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, 27 volumes, just one remaining.
Volumes? Like just volume 15 is all we need. Damn. Yeah. That's awesome.
It's pretty amazing.
So we just need Avengers 15 for a complete run until they start renaming the wait, complete run. Hold on though. We don't know when are they starting Avengers Modern Era Epic Collection though, Curtis?
Well, I mean, they started with New Avengers. I'm assuming that the Heroes Reborn era will be included in this, but Phil was the one making the content, making the comments, so he's going to say that this is a complete run for him.
Okay. No new Avengers for that guy. This would also include the Thor crossover, so this along with the Thor epic means you get the complete story. Thank you for that, Zasmarth. I have not published the written documentation. I do it at the end of whenever I do the final part, which will be part 3. I decided to split them up into 3 parts. And I really do think the Kurt Busiek stuff will be classic because it feels like classic Avengers. Then that means, holy mother of God, that means the final classic Avengers before the new Avengers is the Chuck Austin Avengers. Because it's
Austin?
It's Jeff. So it's Kurt Busiek. When he leaves the book, it's Jeff Johns. And then when he leaves the book, it's Chuck Austin.
Oh, okay.
And he brings in the Invaders and whoa.
I didn't even know about that run at all.
I love that I just said the classic line is going to end with Chuck Austin and somebody wrote classic equals not crap. God bless you. That was perfect timing. But to each your own. You might find Chuck Austin's Avengers amazing. And more power to you. That's cool. Okay. Now, do we have another slide, or we wanted to talk about what we're going to do next? Let's do the roundup. Let's do the roundup. Let's see what we're getting. In case people missed it, let me highlight. Make this screen bigger. There you go, everybody. So here is your final list, and a big thank you to my buddy Curtis for putting the slideshow together with, count them, 0 mistakes. 0 mistakes. Amazing Spider-Man 12, Spider-Man Threat or Menace, Miles Morales Spider-Man Modern Epic Collection 3, Rivals and Revelations, X-Men 11, Life Death, Amazing Spider-Man Modern, The Life and Death of Spiders, that is the 2nd volume, Deadpool Modern Era Epic Collection Magnum Opus, that is the 1st one. Wow. Fantastic Four is what kicks it off in February with Volume 13, Back to the Basics. Daredevil Modern Epic Collection Volume 5, The Murdoch Papers. Young Avengers Modern 3, The Children's Crusade. Micronauts 4, The Long and Winding Road. The reprint of X-Men Volume 2 that you all voted for, Lonely or the Hunted. And again, they, having given me the whole list, they might do some reprints these months too. So keep that in mind too, if some of the months look a little slim. Thor 13, The Surtur War, is kicking off the March. That's the Walter Simonson stuff. Punisher 8, Survival. Ultimate Spider-Man 2, The Hunted. Thunderbolts 4, Redemption. And April is Avengers 14, Absolute Vision. ROM Volume 4, the original Marvel years. Black Widow Modern 2, Widowmaker, Ultimate X-Men 2, World Tour, and Amazing Spider-Man Modern 3, Sins Pass. Now, what are we going to talk about? I mean, we still have May, June, and July of 2026, and I said I have to get this stuff out before the ending of the month. So when do you want to play this game again, Curtis? Because I go off grid for a week. The week of, let me see, when do I do it? Yeah, I'm leaving like the 13th all the way to the 20th. So I'm out, man, of July.
Well, then we better do it before that.
I guess you can.
What are you doing next Friday?
I'm hanging out with you because we're announcing the Epic Collections from May to July of 2026 next Friday. That's right. You only have to wait a week. A week. That's it. And that's wonderful. Do you want to give them any hints? Do you like giving hints? I can't remember.
Oh man, hints. Let's see here.
We're gonna see any X-Men related books on that list.
There are X-Men related books on the list for between May and July.
Excellent.
2, 4, 6. There are 6 classic era epic collections.
That's a big hint.
4. There are 6 modern era epic collections, and there's an Ultimate in there, and there's a Star Wars in there. Okay, so that's a big reveal. There
we go. So that is what we are announcing next week, and now you all know that they're X-Men related. There's some X-Men related in there. But tune in next Friday, 11:30 a.m. and same time, Eastern time. That's right. So not the 4th of July, so some of you might be working, or some of you might be, taking a lunch break to watch us. Yeah. No Venom epics this round, huh? Maybe next round for Phil?
Well, we had Sins Past. It's close enough.
That's not close enough for Phil. He was done with the Spider titles. Chuck Austin X-Men, please. We need that Omni collection first. After party next week, Curtis?
I'll have to check my schedule. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'll let you know.
And at this moment, I just want everybody to smash that like button. And also, let me know what you're most excited for. Curtis, what's the book in here you, my friend, are most excited for?
Wow. I mean, we have so many good options here. I think probably John Byrne's Fantastic Four or Simonson's Thor at the top of the list. I'm happy that Punisher's back. But yeah, I think probably Fantastic Four is at the top of the list there.
Now, you've read those stories before, so why are you excited to read them again?
Well, it's been a long time since I've read them, so I'm excited to revisit them. And it's just a great run. It's always been one of my favorites. Not as good as Tom DeFalco's run, but pretty close.
I love that you love Tom DeFalco's run that much, because I do too. I'm a big fan of his run. I've always put it in my top 5 favorite Fantastic Four runs. I think it's very, very underrated and doesn't get enough praise and love like it should have. It's a wonderful run. I think for me, honestly, man, it's gotta be Frank coming back
Yeah.
with Punisher Epic Collection Volume 8. That's a big one, man. It's just because it's been so many years, and you know, when so many years passes on a line, you think, okay, the line is dead. That's it. They've forgotten or they don't care about the character. But man, there's some great stuff in there. Yeah, we are talking about like I think this is still early 90s, so like 92, 93, when the Punisher was at like the height of his popularity. There were like 4 Punisher titles every month. But yeah, I got to go with that one. It's a long time
Okay.
coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to see what the rest of the chat is saying, though. I arrived late. Regards from Argentina. We'll watch. Thank you so much, buddy. Punisher 8. Simonson Thor easily. And most excited for Modern Daredevil 5. And Punisher, Black Widow and Young Avengers. Punisher, Thor, Fantastic Four, and Thor. Modern Hulk. Wait, Hulk Modern 6? Did we announce that?
We did not announce that.
And Black Widow 2. Modern 6.
Hulk Modern 6 is that was already released. That was released like a year ago.
Okay. I'm most excited for these new announcements and the next week announcements. Yes, me too. Avengers 14 and Thor 13. Avengers 14. So many good. Yes, I agree. This was a really good, like, you know, anytime we do announcements, I know it makes people happy. You can't please everybody, but I really do think with this batch and the next batch, we're hitting like modern stuff, we're hitting the classic stuff, and we're hitting some forgotten eras. And we're getting into some eras that Marvel hasn't touched in Epic Collections. Does it have anything to do with the fact that, you know, the Masterworks are put on hiatus? I don't know. Could. Burn FF by a million miles. I'll be buying this for the 6th time. That's how good it is. X-Men 2, Epic, and Avengers 14, and Punisher making a comeback. That Thor looks pretty groovy. He is pretty groovy. Thor and Black Widow 2, Spidey Modern, and ROM Micronauts. Punisher, definitely. Fantastic Four 13. Just need 3 more to close all the gaps. Is that right? 3 more? You need, the burn stuff. Yeah. It's Black Widow. Yeah. Yep. There we go. There it is. Curtis, I'll let you read this comment.
The collection superior to omnibuses. He speaks the truth.
Speaks the truth. Avengers 14, Fantastic Four, Thor, and ROM. Fantastic Four 13, Avengers 14. What extras will be in Avengers 15? Extras? I don't know. Original art? I'm most excited to see Punisher back. I love that series. Okay, small redemption for that February crap with 6 modern epics in the next announcement, Marvel. All the classic Marvel ones outside of the licensed ones. Fantastic Four 13. Chuck Austin did give us one of the best King of the Hill episodes. You know, I've never seen an episode of King of the Hill, so I will take your word for it. Avengers 14 and Daredevil Modern 5. I think you missed the Deadpool announcement. Did we? The Modern Volume 1 Magnum Opus? It's there. It's in January. Thanks for the news. Thank you for watching, Derek. I'm most excited for Avengers 14 and Fantastic Four 13 and Thor. A man of classic taste for the classics. I like that. Simonson's Store, Punisher, Avengers, Daredevil, Modern 5. Fantastic Four, Avengers, Black Widow, Punisher. My dude Arthur's a big fan of epics. Yeah, happy 4th of July too, guys, and happy belated Canada Day to Curtis. Still no cable.
That's true.
No, but I mean, honestly, with the closing out of some lines that are coming here within the year or so, I'm sure we're going to get some new additions. Will there be an additional reprints on top of the ones already announced? Yes, but I don't have that list yet.
We will be announcing one reprint next week. Just one that we know about.
Okay. Amazing Spider-Man Modern Epic Collection Volume 3, Ultimate Spider-Man Epic 2, Where's the Great Hulk, or Black Suit Spider-Man Epic Collections. That's what everybody wants with that 16. The Falco's run is better than Burns. There, I said it. Look at you. That's awesome.
Nice.
Are the Punisher issues actually any good, though? That is the question. That's what I was
Well, I mean, you know, I Punisher Volume 7 was the first Punisher that I'd really ever read. I'd maybe the odd issue here or there, but that was the first volume, and I absolutely loved the Euro hit storyline, that which was Abnett and Landing. That one was fantastic. And so if they're continuing on into this volume 8, then hopefully these issues are good too.
I haven't read them since they came out. I was a big fan of the Punisher. I was getting Punisher Warzone, War Journal, and Punisher. And, to me, that 90s Punisher was my Punisher growing up. The Chuck Dixon, Mike Baron, and then eventually, and Carl Potts. My gosh, Carl Potts stories are so good. The Falco's run is above Claremont's Fantastic Four. Yeah, yes, actually, yes, I agree with that. But Claremont did give us Valeria, right? For those at home, 3 Ultimate X-Men epics will run you 140. 1 Omni will run you 125. It's no longer the cheaper option. 3 Ultimate, well, depending on where you live, that is true. Fantastic Four, 13. Yes, the books have been on my list for 15 years. It's a long time. I'm excited for that. Daredevil, Punisher, Thor, Fantastic Four, and Thunderbolts. Wait. How will One More Day be collected in Epic Collection? Omar and Curtis, Volume 9 or 10 to finish the Punisher Classic line. Punisher went on for a while. Like, you're just talking Punisher without, like, War Journal or anything? It went on
I'm pretty sure it'll be 2.
100
It'll be 2 volumes because the whole Suicide Run, I'm sure the whole Suicide Run crossover story will be Volume 9. And then all of the Punisher titles were canceled at the same time, right? After that, with a big crossover story called Countdown.
Oh, you're going to need at least 3 or 4 then, if that's right. Because if it goes, I really want to say it went all the way to like issue 100 and something. I mean, maybe even more. And if this one here, is stopping at 80 something. Here, let's go back to it really quick. Where is it? Why is it fighting me? Don't fight me. Are you pushing buttons, Curtis?
I'm not.
I don't believe you.
I'm not doing anything.
If this goes all the way to 84, I think we need 3 more. No, well, you're right. If they do all of Suicide Run,
Suicide Run won't be a full volume. They could, here's the thing. Because they haven't done the final volume of Punisher, they could now go and remap these epics if they want to. We're seeing lower page numbers because that means a lower price point. Because they're raising.
We don't have
because they're raising the price on the cover price. There's a couple of options. Either they keep the pages they keep the books at like 200 pages. 500 pages thick, but then increase the price to reflect how much they're spending with the printing cost increases and all that. Or they keep the prices down lower, but then they have to decrease the page count. It's either or. And so with some of these, we're seeing lower page counts. And so Punisher may have been mapped for 2 more volumes to get the whole series, but they could rejigger that to be 3 more volumes in order to keep the cover prices lower, which in the longer run means that we're paying more because just the price increase. But I don't know. I don't know how they're choosing to do it. It's kind of a bum deal either way.
Any thoughts on the cover prices going up to 55? I don't like it. I don't think anybody really likes it, right? I don't like paying more for things. And I know, like, it's when people ask me this, it's like, they take it one way or another. It's like, well, Marvel sends you books. That is true, yes. But I also have options when it comes to collecting things that I buy, right? Like, I used to collect, I don't know if you all know, the Amiibos. Nintendo Amiibos. I swore one day when I played the original Smash Brothers, I was like, if they ever release those little trophies, I'm buying every single one of them. And they did. They started coming out with them. And when I started collecting them, they were $13, and then they went up to $15. The Street Fighter 6 Amiibos are $39.99. So for me, as a collector of that stuff, that's when I was like, well, I'm out. I can't. Like, that is like more than double of what it was before. And of course, it is things out of their control too, like the big T. So yeah, it is up to you. It is ultimately up to you. These are where I don't I don't control the prices. It sucks. I don't like when things go up, of course, because I like people enjoying these things. But as I'm sorry, was it Cody was saying, if 3 volumes of Ultimate Spider-Man is going to cost you more than the Omni, maybe that's another route to go. As much as I hate to tell Curtis to go buy an omnibus, yeah.
If they, but
I mean,
but that the Omnis are the Omnis also rising in price or not?
I haven't seen any of the new price. I know that when I talk to DC, there is a reason why they changed the. I got to be careful how I word this. There's a reason why they changed the content of Shade the Changing Man. It was going to be a big book, and they said we did not want to be the first to be at that price point for the omnibus. And I can't say anything outside of that, but that's
and that's what I'm saying. So it's either you keep it at the page count and you have to do a really high price, or you break them down into smaller. You decrease the page count.
Yeah, I don't
to
know
keep
what
the cover prices lower.
Yeah, so I just ultimately it is up to you, right? Like what you purchase or not. Absolutely. Don't forget that Punisher Volume 3 comes out right after all of them get canceled and is enough for Volume 1. Was it 3? Was that the last one we got? We got a reprint, right? Or 2 reprints, maybe?
We got a reprint of Volume 2 and 3, I think, yeah. For Punisher, we just need Volumes 1 and 6 to fill those gaps.
I just wanted to do this live stream for fun. I'm not going to buy the epics or the other formats except singles and trades and hardcovers and omnis. Well, thank you, Hunter, for being here. Now the masterworks are out of the way. $75 epics are coming. I don't know. Why would you even say that? Shh. Definitely prefer lower prices and multiple volumes than one gigantic book. If they're spaced out, maybe that's why they space them out like that too, right? Like, well, we only get 2 a year. Because there could be people that collect everything and maybe just 2 or 3 people that collect Spider-Man, only Spider-Man. Between the mapping being usually worse, being more unwidely large to read, and their fear of numbering volumes, I just don't vibe with omnis as much. So epics are your preferred reading format. Okay.
A lot of good points there. A lot of good points.
Yes. 1 week. Shut up, Curtis. Don't encourage the epic buyers any more than you do. Yes. 1 week. That's all you have to wait. It's awesome. People have asked me if I would do this for the DC Finest, and I would love to. And it's something that I've been talking to them about. And I can't think of anyone else outside of, Curtis to invite on that. And of course, my buddy Dom. That's almost a given because you guys do live streams on that. But, ultimately it is up to them. But once it hits the catalog, it's just like, there's no fun. There's no surprises. As you're watching live, I love that. Like, I used to watch live unveilings of like new toys and like new video games. Like, then I still watch the Nintendo live streams, and I don't even really play video games anymore, but I just like announcements live. But once the list is out, it's like, it's, I don't know, kind of takes the joy out of it for me. But any other words, Curtis, before we sign off today? I forgot I got to cook for some people tonight, and they've been texting me, or to this afternoon. Crap, I got to get started on that.
Phil is asking if there are any new lines. I would take
week?
thinner books at a higher price point just because thicker books won't have a long shelf life.
Pun intended. What's up, Dying Breed?
So Phil Owen says, are there any new lines next week? And I will tell him that there are no new lines next week. We're just continuing on with lines that are already going. However, we have one line that's going to be completed next week. And let's see, a couple other volumes that people have been asking for. And I don't think and one gap filler There's one gap filler coming
Look
up here.
at Curtis just dropping all the information. You
Yeah.
ask him one question, Phil, and he's like opening up like you've got the spotlight on him. We got a lot of Spider-Man this week, though. All right. Anything else before we wrap up, my brother?
People are saying Captain America as the line that's going to be finished, but I'll remind you that they skipped over the Heroes Reborn era. So there are 2 holes still to go as far as the classic Captain America is concerned, as well as the rest of the Heroes Return era. So it's not that's not the line that's going to be completed.
Stop giving hints. No more hints. All right. We will be back next week, next Friday, 11:30 a.m. with the rest of the Epic collections. Again, this is not the full list. They'll decide what to reprint. So hopefully I'll get that list sometime too, here and there. But that is it, everybody. Curtis, where can people find you, my friend?
Well, find me at Epic Marvel Podcast on social media. There are a bunch of different social medias that have my handle there, or find me on the Facebook group, Epic Collection Speculation Discussion. If you find that on Facebook, we're talking about Epic Collections all day, and it's a lot of fun. And there is bound to be lots of conversation happening there right now because of these announcements. So I'm going to log off and see what people are talking about.
Go and argue with them. Argue with those people there. No, Curtis has built a nice group. That's a nice group. Ryan Wilson, you should be working anyway. You love America so much. You work on the 4th of July. And I guess I do too, because I'm working on the 4th of July. I actually have to film a video as soon as I'm done with this. Then I got to go and smoke some meat. Everybody, I'm out of here. I am the Uncanny Omar. Thank you so much for watching me. And thank you again to my buddy Curtis, my partner in crime with the Epic Collections. We've been making these announcements for years, and it is a blast to do every time. And doing it, you know, getting to announce them with Curtis is a blessing. So smash that like button on the way out. Everybody, stay healthy and safe out there. I will be back with my live stream tomorrow at 11 a.m., just like every Saturday. Much love. We are out of here.